We did it right now. Let's see, we got Charlotte, we got Dean, we got Amy, we got Jennifer. It says we're live.
Cool.
Okay. You and
Me?
me together. Check, check.
Checkity check.
Hey everybody.
Look, there's Ben.
Am I on?
We're live. Or something.
It surprises me every time. It's like I'm like a kid on Easter morning. You're like, oh look, there's chocolate. Hey, the tooth fairy left me something under my pillow. That doesn't happen on Easter. Always continually excited that we managed to get these classes up online for you to consume from the comfort of wherever you're at. I hope it is comfortable. I hope that you all are healthy and well. If you're tuning in today, we're at 79 patrons on Patreon. Woo! Woo! That's very exciting. Our goal is to get to 100 by April 15th, so we're kind of closing in on that tight timeline. Whose goal? My goal, not your goal. I just made that one up. But if you get your friends to sign up, I'll give both you and your friend an entry into a giveaway. I'm giving away $95 worth of stuff. That can be just straight up cred to the yoga store, get t-shirts, cool stuff, a free month of unlimited yoga when we start back up, or I'll give you a foam roller, 2 blocks, and a mat to use at home if you never want to come to the studio again. Or if you want to bring them to the studio, either way is fine with us. Pretty good deal.
It's a good deal.
So just tell your friends about the Patreon, patreon.com/commonbond.
Pretty snazzy.
$7, sign up. That's all it takes to support us through this crisis. We'll go with power in masses, small groups. So there were other things I was going to say.
You said the 78 out of 100.
78,
That's right. I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Peggy's here in case you guys are wondering. She's right over there. I'm sure she'll make an appearance with her pretty but stinky face at some point. So thank you so much for Chris being down here, etc.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for giving me a spot to be. Good morning. Happy. It must be Saturday because I'm sitting here at Common Bond. I mean, this is like one of the better parts of my week but I always come here early on Saturday mornings, but I usually get here about like 8:30 and hang out and practice and sweep Ben's floor and that kind of stuff. So, and then I get to see you all. Today is supposed to be beer yoga, right? So I'm rocking my public house shirt, and I was thinking about it. The last time I taught a public class was at public house a month ago. Ever since then, everything has been live streamed, which is kind of interesting. So, I'm feeling a little bit more energetic today, mostly because they just fed me a bunch of espresso up front at the Washburn, which is, by the way, open. Get some takeout, man. When they have those croissants are legit. They haven't made them today, unfortunately. I'm kind of sad. So let's find a comfortable seated position, just to kind of start to come into the space and step into your practice here. I'm really happy you guys are all here. So just kind of find a comfortable seat and find your comfortable seat and give yourself that moment once you arrive in the seat to move around. I always like to sit up on a blanket or a block or a skinny bolster or a pillow or something just to raise my hips a little bit higher than normal. And then I always like to have a couple of blocks. I'm a broken record with blocks. I really enjoy bringing the floor a little bit closer to me. Sometimes I feel that even if I can put my hand flat on the ground, why? Why do I have to do that? I mean, you can feel so much more open just by bringing the floor a little bit closer to you. So if you have them at home, find some blocks, bring them closer to you. I've got a couple things planned for blocks today. But it's nothing you can't do if you don't have blocks. I'll offer modifications, of course. So as you start to settle into the seat, really kind of start to, find some strength in the lower body. Bring a little bit of engagement into the root. Almost like, we're engaging that pelvic floor, but not so much that we're trying to rise up onto our glutes, just enough so we feel like a nice grounding to whatever we're seated on. And we kind of want to lean back a little bit. And then try to think about pulling that lower belly in towards the spine and then just a little bit up towards the heart. Now these do not have to be strong engagements, just enough, right? So you can really feel some stability. Roll those shoulders up by the ears, let them sit back in the back body. Let's just bring the hands onto the knees or the lap or wherever the heck you want them to be. pull the crown of the head back so it's closer to being over the tailbone. Maybe we can just kind of reach up ever so slightly with the crown of the head. And then just slightly dip the chin down towards the chest. Just a little dip, a half inch. So we've got some engagement in the root. We've got some engagement in that lower belly. And then we've got a little bit of engagement in the throat. Just pulling the chin down, letting the shoulders sink away from the ears. Let the eyes go. Just let them start to come together. And then for just a few here, just start to let the attention and the awareness flow towards your breath. Just checking in, right? Like, where are you at this Saturday morning? And it's okay if everything feels a little different. If it's not what we expect it to be. Because everything is a little different. As you start to focus on the breath, there's a few qualities of the breath that I'd like you to try to keep in mind. And we're going to try to keep these in mind throughout the entire practice. And the first is just that the breath, it's balanced, it's even. So as we start to take a little bit control of our own breath, start to find a place where the inhales and the exhales are of about equal length. So if you're inhaling for a count of 4 or 5 or about that, don't get caught up in counting. But let that exhale then be about a 4 or 5 count exhale. Just finding this place where the inhales and the exhales just start to fall in line with each other. So they're balanced. We're keeping that engagement. And we're just finding a balance to the inhale and the exhale. And then the next quality is just that it's smooth. So if on the inhale you find that there's a little hiccup in the breath, or on the exhale you find that there's a little jump, maybe we can find that place in the inhale or the exhale where it's just a little richer than the other, and maybe just smooth that out a little bit. So we're finding a place where the inhales are not only balanced, but they're just smooth. There's no effort really. And then the third quality is just that the breath is continuous. So if at the top of the inhale you find that you're retaining the breath in, or at the bottom of the exhale you find that you're holding that breath out, in your own time, just start to close those gaps, starting to create this circular breath where the inhales just flow into the exhales and the exhales flow right back into the inhales. But that breath is also balanced and smooth. Just starting to create this circle, inhale and exhale, in and out, exchanging the energy. And then as we start to move, I'd like us to think about linking these movements with the breath. So when we take an inhale, we'll let that inhale take us from one place to the next, and then the exhale to bring us to that next place, but we'll have those movements linked with the breath. So not only will our breath be balanced and smooth and continuous, but so will our movement. We just take a nice big inhale here and kind of reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And then with an exhale, just start to bring the chin down towards the center of the chest. Let that exhale be full and complete. And then nice and smoothly, when you're ready to inhale, just start to bring the left ear towards the left shoulder. Finding that stretch along the right side of the neck. And the exhale, the chin can come down towards the center of the chest. Hey Ben, I realize I don't have a watch. I need you to give me like a 10-minute warning at the end of the class.
Okay.
Sorry about that technical difficulties. On the inhale, just start to bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Finding that stretch along the left side of the neck, pointing the chin and the nose up towards the corner of the room. And then nice and smoothly on the exhale, just bring the chin right back down towards the center of the chest. Letting that exhale right there be full and complete. Let's just do that a couple times with our breath. Our balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. Letting the inhale bring the ear towards the shoulder. The exhale, bring the chin back down towards the center of the chest. Just follow your breath. Noticing the sensation that comes along with the movement. Inhaling, bringing the ear towards the shoulder. Exhaling, bringing the chin right down towards the chest. Next time you find the ear over the right shoulder, let's just take that exhale. Bring the chin back down towards the center of the chest. And then on the inhale, bring the crown back up over the tailbone. Let that exhale be full and complete. Then we'll take the inhale. Reach the arms up overhead. And then with the exhale, just bring the left arm down towards the mat. Plant that hand nice and wide. And of course, if you need a block here, bring a block. Bring the floor a little bit closer to you. Reach up with the right fingertips on an inhale. And then on the exhale, just start to bend the left elbow as you reach the left fingertip, those are right fingertips, over towards the left wall. Maybe coming all the way down onto the elbow and the forearm. That's not important. The important thing here is that we have a nice long line of energy all the way from the tip of the finger down to the hip on the right side. And that we're breathing. Apparently I wasn't. Maybe we could bring the gaze underneath that right armpit and just kind of look up towards the ceiling. Inhale and an exhale. With an inhale, start to push into that left palm, bringing the right arm back up, bring the left arm up overhead. On the exhale, the right hand down towards the mat. Reach those left fingertips up. Inhale, exhale, start to dip over towards the right as the right elbow bends, and really be aware of the differences between the right and the left side. For me, this is much tighter than the other side, so I can't go down all the way, and that's fine. That elbow doesn't have to come down to the mat. The arm doesn't even have to bend. Just keep reaching with those left fingertips over towards the right wall. Maybe on the inhale, we bring the gaze under that left shoulder as the right shoulder starts to sink away from the ear. Keep that engagement in the root and the lower belly. It'll really help us keep that stability here. We'll take another inhale. Full, complete exhale. Then when the breath turns back around on the inhale, just bring the arms up. And on the exhale, just bring the hands down towards the ground. Now those legs have been crossed for a minute, so what I'd like us to do is maybe just straighten the legs out and flex those toes up towards the knees. Let's just bring the hands a little bit behind us, fingers facing forward, and just push down. As we reach up with the crown of the head, flex the toes up towards the knees. The amount of engagement is really up to you here. And just spend a moment in this Dandasana, staff pose. Breathing, lifting that chest, maybe tucking the chin down towards the chest. Keeping that engagement in the root and the lower belly. Take a few breaths. Flex the toes. Bring them up towards your knees. Reach forward with the heels. Give yourself an inhale. With the exhale, we can just kind of let that go. Let's recross the legs for a moment, but let's cross them in the opposite way. So if the left leg was on top before, now the right is, or vice versa, right? And also kind of find a seat that's comfortable for you when you come to a seat. It doesn't have to be quite as tight as mine. I mean, my heel's up in my perineum and my other heel's right on top of it. So it's an interesting sensation, but you don't have to sit this deep. Find your seat. If you're sitting up on a blanket, maybe move that blanket so just the points of your tailbone are there. Take the inhale, reach the arms up overhead, lift the chest, and on an exhale, we're just gonna fold forward. Just bring the hands down towards the mat, reach forward with the crown of the head on an inhale, and maybe on the exhale we can bend the elbows. Bringing the forearms and elbows down towards the mat, letting the chin come in towards the chest, closing the eyes here. We always have options, so if it's available for you, you want to walk those hands out all the way in front of you, and on an exhale, bring the forehead all the way down towards the ground. Maybe it rests on the floor or on a block. And just watch that breath here. Watch those even, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales just move in and out of the body effortlessly. Let's just take an inhale. We'll come up part way. Reach forward with the crown of the head. Find that engagement in the lower belly. And on the exhale, fold forward again. And do that a couple times. When you're ready to inhale, come up onto the palms of the hands. Reach forward with the crown of the head. Exhale, just fold back down towards the mat, bending the elbows. Let's do that again. Exhale all the way forward. Walk the hands back towards the body. Come all the way up towards seated. Let's straighten those legs out again. Take the inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and with that engagement in the lower belly and the engagement in the root, try to keep the biceps by the ears. Reach up on the inhale. Exhale, fold forward. As you reach forward, bringing the hands down just to wherever the heck they fall comfortably. That doesn't have to be the feet. It could just be rocking up here by the knees. Give yourself the inhale though. Reach forward with your chest. Reach forward with the collarbones. Bring the gaze forward. Let the shoulders drip away from the ears on your exhales. Take your inhale here, and then maybe on the exhale we can just start to fold. Letting the back round and the chin come in towards the chest. Of course, now I realize there's a clock right in front of me. Let's just take a full exhale right here. Saturday Escapades with Chris. We'll take an inhale, come all the way up towards seated. And then we'll just bend those knees, kicking the feet behind us. We're gonna come onto a tabletop pose. If you're sitting on anything, go ahead and move that out of the way, or if your knees are sensitive, you could always bring your knees onto that blanket. And let's just find the hands nice and wide, the fingers nice and wide on the mat, the knees underneath the hips, the wrists underneath the shoulders. Push down into those hands, right? Push the tops of the feet down into the mat. Take the inhale, drop the belly down towards the mat, bring the gaze forward. We're lifting the tailbone on that inhale. We still have that engagement in the root and the lower belly. And then with your breath, just exhale. Start to reach the spine up towards the ceiling as the tailbone and chin tuck under. Full exhale right there. And then with your breath, just move. Inhaling as you lift the chest, as you lift the tailbone. Exhaling as you round the back. And of course, if there's any additional movement here that would feel good in the body, take it. But link the movements with the breath. The inhale come into your version of your cow belly. The exhale come into your version of your cat back. Move around in the hips, the shoulders, the neck. Find some movement in the whole body as you need. And then maybe we come back and we just find a neutral spine. Working in your own time, of course. If you want to keep doing cat-cows for the next hour, do it. Maybe here we can tuck the toes. Really push back into the toes, push back into the heels, and just start to bring the hips back towards the heels. Let that be an exhale as you push into the hands. Inhale, let's just come back up, find that tabletop pose. Exhale, pushing back, bringing the hips back towards the heels, maybe even floating the knees a little bit up off of the mat, getting a nice stretch on the bottoms of the feet. Inhale, come back forward as you drop the knees, find that tabletop pose. On the exhale, this time push into the hands. Lift the knees off the mat, bring the hips up towards the heels, and then on an inhale, straighten the legs, downward facing dog. Settle into this dog for a minute. Give yourself a little bit of movement if you need. Bending the knees, moving with the breath, finding that movement that works for you and your body right here, right now. Good. And as you're ready, we'll just take an inhale here and we'll come forward and we'll find our plank pose. Maybe just rolling the back forward as you come into a nice long plank, reaching the heels back for the wall behind you, crown of the head forward. Exhaling when you're ready. Come back and find that downward facing dog. Inhaling, we'll come forward, finding that plank pose. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Lift the bum up as you come to the downward facing dog and then reach the heels down for the mat. Hey, pig. Inhale, we'll come forward, we'll find that plank pose. She should just teach this. I mean, what am I doing? Exhale, we'll find that downward facing dog. Then on an inhale here, we'll come forward, we'll find that plank pose, and on the exhale, just come down onto the belly however you want to. Bring the hands so they're underneath the shoulders. The top of the shoulder more or less lined up with the middle knuckle of the middle finger. Elbows are coming in towards the ribs. They don't have to touch. And then just set the chin down. Untuck the toes. Find the body nice and long. Take an exhale. And on an inhale, we're going to come up and we're going to find a back bend. Just probably a low cobra here. Reaching forward with the crown of the head. Feel free to take a block and stick it under the sternum there if that would help give you a little bit of support. Reach forward with the chest. On those inhales, feel the belly pushing down into the ground. And on the exhale, feeling that belly just relax, feeling the upper belly and floating ribs, just pushing down on those inhales. Exhaling. Couple breaths, just like this. Keep reaching forward with the chest. Keep that engagement in the lower belly and the root still. Inhale. When you're ready, exhale. We can lower back down towards the mat. Tuck the toes. Inhale, push into the hands. Coming up, finding that plank pose. And on the exhale, we'll move into our downward facing dog. Full exhale right here. Then on the inhale, what I'd like you to do is just step the feet forward. And we'll come into a nice wide squat here, Malasana. Now, if you need, you could always bring a block underneath the bum and sit on it and make this just a little bit easier. Doing all right over there?
Stinky dog.
But whatever you decide to do here, whether you're on a block or not, find yourself with that engagement in the root and the lower belly. Bring the elbows on the insides of the knees and maybe just bring the palms together. And just take a couple of breaths here. Malasana. Balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. Take an inhale, exhale, we can let the hands go. Maybe steeple up on the fingers, and let's just start to come towards standing through this nice wide squat here. And then bring the hands onto the, those are thighs? That part of our body is a thigh, right? Yes, just above the knee is your thigh. Bring the shoulders back. Wrap the fingers around to the inside of the thigh. And we did this last week. Keep some engagement in the feet. Keep some engagement in the bum, engaging that pelvic floor. In the lower belly. Bring the gaze forward on an inhale, lift the chest, bring the gaze up. Exhale, keeping all that lower body engagement, push into the hands as you round the back, like you're into standing cat. Yeah, it's not a real cat though, pig, I promise. Inhale, lifting that chest right back up, bringing the gaze forward. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking the tailbone under, the chin under. Full exhale here. Inhaling. Exhale, follow your breath. We'll do this a few more times. If you'd like to, you can even bring a little bit of constriction into the lower throat, just and activating that Ujjayi breath. Two more. Take your inhale, exhaling, rounding the back. Inhale, straighten the legs as you start to bring the arms up overhead, bring the feet in underneath you, finding a nice tall stance. And the exhale, we can just bring the hands down. And then let's bring the thumbs to touch and the pointer fingers to touch right around the navel. Yoni Mudra. Surround the navel,
Push down through the feet, keeping all the engagement that we've been keeping this whole time, and just follow the breath here. Let's take an inhale. The exhale, just let the arms go. Kick the legs out a little bit. Good morning, happy Saturday. I'm gonna keep adding to that, Agnisara, every week that I teach until we're actually practicing Agnisara with Uddiyana Bandha, maybe even Nali. All right, this is yoga series. Let's find a nice tall Tadasana, right? So we want the hips to be kind of square towards the front of the mat, and we want the feet to be right underneath them. Now, if you have an established practice where you like to keep the big toes together, totally you. Lift the feet up, put them back down. Really find a nice strong stance, keeping that engagement in the root and that lower belly. Take the inhale, roll the shoulders up by the ears, and then let them just sink down into the back body. Let the arms get nice and long. Pull that tailbone down. Feel like the fingers are full of lead. Just pulling the arms down. Inhaling and exhaling in this standing staff pose. Inhale when you're ready. Let's just sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale, bring it back down towards the mat. Not to the mat, by your sides. Oh man. Inhale, bring the arms up. Maybe the palms come together. The exhale, we can bring the hands down and just move like this a couple times. Maybe each time we lift the chest. Maybe the gaze comes up a little higher. Maybe the palms come closer together and the exhale is just kind of like a relax. And again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, back to Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach those fingers up towards the sky. The exhale, fold forward, coming down nice and slow. Full exhale. Uttanasana. You can always bring the hands on the blocks here. On an inhale, we'll come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Nice flat back, reaching forward with the crown of the head. Exhale, fold, maybe a little bend comes into the knees. Complete exhale right there. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Coming back up, finding that Urdhva Hastasana, that salute to the sun. And the exhale, bring the hands back down by the sides. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, dive forward. Diving on music cue. Inhale, coming halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Bringing the hands under the shins, right underneath the knees, reaching forward with the crown of the head, and the exhale, when you're ready, fold. Let that little bend come in the knee as you push down through the feet. Sweep the arms out to the sides, bring them up overhead. Exhale, back to your mountain pose, back to Tadasana. Total, complete exhale right here. Then on the inhale, let's sweep the arms out to the sides. Let's bring the chest up, the palms together. If they meet, exhale, fold forward. Halfway up on the inhale. Here, if you want to keep the fingers on the ground, go for it. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, step the feet back to the back of the mat, find that plank pose. Inhale, reaching forward with the crown. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat, 8-point chaturanga. The bum is lifted up towards the ceiling. The hands are pushing into the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, just let the body get nice and long. Untuck those toes. Inhale to your cobra pose. Exhale, coming back down, tucking the toes. Inhale, pushing into the hands through plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. After that exhale into your downward facing dog, bend the knees on the inhale, step forward. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold back to your Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side and bring them up overhead. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Again, your breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lift the chest. Exhale, dive forward. Halfway up on the inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. You could always take that 8-point chaturanga, or on an exhale, just start to bend the elbows, bringing the chest down towards the mat. Untuck those toes. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra pose. Exhaling back. Inhaling through plank, exhale, downward facing dog. Full exhale right here. Never rush the breath. Feel free to take extras. Inhale when you're ready, bend the knees, bring the gaze up by the hands, step or float forward. Exhaling, Uttanasana. Halfway up on your inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling to Uttanasana, bending those knees, pushing down through the feet, rooting to rise as the arms sweep out to the sides and up, chest lifts. Exhale, back to mountain pose. Full exhale right there. Take a breath. Take a drink of water if you've been talking for the last 30 minutes nonstop. And then when you're ready, you can always come back to that mountain pose. Stand up nice and tall here. Let the shoulders sink away from the ears. Find your Tadasana. And with your breath, when you're ready, take the inhales, you bend the knees, bringing the arms up overhead, finding Utkatasana, your chair pose. Take a look over the knees real quick, make sure you can see your toes. If you can't, just sit back a little bit more. Lift the chest on the inhale, let the shoulders sink away on an inhale. Breathe. Inhale, look up. Exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward, back to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or float back, finding your plank pose. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, we'll find a back bend, and if you're ready for upward facing dog, we could go there. And then on the exhale, we'll find that downward facing dog. That exhale right there is full and complete, and when you're ready, inhale, lift the right leg, point the toes behind you, exhale, sweep that foot forward, place it down, drop that left heel about a 45-degree angle so we can move towards Warrior One. When you're ready, take that inhale, sweeping the arms out to the sides and up overhead. Exhale with your breath, fold back down, plant the hands, right foot back there to meet the left. Exhale to downward facing dog or go through a Chaturanga. Find your back bend, and then meet us in downward facing dog. Full exhale. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring that knee forward, place the foot in between the hands, drop the right heel, moving towards Warrior One on this side. Inhale when you're ready, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, bringing the hands down towards the mat, stepping the left foot back there to meet the right. Exhale to downward facing dog or go through a Chaturanga, a back bend, and downward facing dog. Take some breath here, in and out through the nose. Take an inhale. Let's lift the right leg again, hinging at that hip. The exhale, bring the foot forward, place it in between the hands, drop that left foot, moving back towards the Warrior One. Take the inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Pull the shoulder blades towards each other. Pull the elbows for the wall behind you. Pushing down through the feet, maybe the gaze comes up. We got to talk about this spotlight placement. Breathe. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands together behind the body, bend the elbows, interlace the fingers, straighten the arms, lift the chest on an inhale. The exhale, fold forward as you lift the arms up. Humble warrior. Even, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. I say half out of breath. Full exhale right here. When you're ready on the inhale, like somebody's pulling on those arms, let's come back up. Exhale, let the arms go. Inhale, the arms up overhead. Exhale, float those hands down towards the mat. Right foot comes back there to meet the left. Exhale, downward facing dog or go through a Chaturanga. Find your back bend. For right now, you can always change these up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale completely. Inhale, left leg lifts, hinging at the hip. Knee comes forward, foot in between the hands. Drop that right foot, prepare for warrior one. Inhale, engagement in the lower belly. Arms come up. Exhale, elbows bend. Sound like a car salesman. Down here at Common Bond, elbows bend every Saturday. Lifting the chest, letting the shoulders relax. Inhale when you're ready, reach those arms up. Exhale, arms behind the body. Interlacing the fingers as you bend the elbows, straighten the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, lean forward with the collarbones as you bring the chest down towards the thigh, lifting the arms up. Inhale as you reach forward with the crown of the head. Start to come back up towards standing. The exhale, let the hands go. Inhale up. Exhale, float those hands down towards the mat. Step the left foot back there to meet the right. Exhale, down through chaturanga. Finding your back bend. Exhale to downward facing dog. Take some breath here, in and out through the nose. Even, smooth, continuous. If you do not have your blocks up towards the front of the mat, just set them up there so you can grab them easily if you need them. Give yourself a full exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg when you're ready. Hinge at that hip, point the toes behind you. Exhale, the knee forward. Place the foot in between the hands. Drop that left foot, preparing for warrior one. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reaching the arms up. Exhale, back to that cactus warrior one. Inhale. Exhale. This time on the inhale, keep the leg straight. The exhale, fold over that leg. Find the blocks. Bring the floor closer to you. Take an inhale, pull the right hip back. Exhale, let the body start to fold. Doesn't matter how far it goes, let the chin relax in towards the chest. Keep that engagement in the root and the lower belly. Watch your breath. I'm sure you're all doing beautifully out there. Give yourself an exhale. The inhale, start to bend the knee, getting the lower body back into that warrior one, and then we can sweep the arms up. Exhale, float the hands down towards the mat. Step that right foot back there to meet the left. Exhale to downward facing dog or go through a chaturanga. But after that chaturanga, you got to take the back bend. Lifting the chest, bringing the chest forward. Exhale, roll back, downward facing dog. Inhale, we're going to lift the right. That's the left leg this time. Flexing the toes to the wall behind you. It didn't make any sense. Take the inhale, bring the foot forward, place it between the hands. Set yourself up, back up for that warrior one. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, bring them up overhead. Exhale, cactus. Take a breath or two right here. You know, with an inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the leg. Pull that left hip back, exhale, come back to that warrior one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale with the straight leg, fold forward this time. Bringing the hands back onto those blocks. Inhale, part way up. Pull that left hip back, adjust the feet as ever you need. Reaching forward with the crown. Exhale. Allow the body to fold down towards the leg. Let the neck relax. Take a few breaths right here, in and out through the nose. Keep thinking about pulling that left hip back. Feel that stretch all along the hamstrings. Inhale, when you're ready, start to bend that left knee, setting the bottom of the body back up for warrior one. Take the exhale. Inhale, then sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, bringing the hands down towards the mat. Step that left foot back there to meet the right. Exhale. Meet us in downward facing dog. Take some breath when you get into this downward facing dog. Take 5 nice, long, smooth, balanced, and continuous breaths. When you're ready, take an inhale. Bend the knees, bring the gaze up by the hands, step forward. Find that Ardha Uttanasana, that half forward fold as you step forward. Reaching forward with the crown of the head, pushing down through the feet. And then on an exhale, fold forward, find that Uttanasana. Inhale, bend those knees, sit that bum back, take the exhale there. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, up overhead. I didn't forget chair pose this week. Full exhale. I think I also caught up on chaturangas from the last couple weeks too.
Definitely.
So we're good. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the chest up. Exhale, come back, find that mountain pose. Give the legs a little walk out there, you know, shake them out. Feel how you're doing. Grab a drink of water. And then we're going to come back up to the front of the mat. Really find a nice, strong stance. Pull that tailbone down, lift the chest. Again, let the arms get heavy, almost like the tips of the fingers have lead in them. Full exhale. Inhale, we'll sweep these arms out to the sides and up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway up on the inhale. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step or float back. Find your plank pose, to chaturanga. Inhale, find your back bend. And then experience your back bend. Here at Common Bond, we experience our back every Saturday. Engage the chest, pull it forward, towards or through the biceps, whether you're in cobra or upward facing dog. Take an inhale, roll over the toes. The exhale, find that downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the gaze up by the hands, drop the knees, untuck the toes, bring the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. And just allow the breath to slow down here. Let the breath return to this place where it's balanced and it's smooth and it's continuous. Easy to lose, especially as we really start to move. So it's always great to take these moments, whether just seated or in child's pose, or even in downward facing dog, to just give yourself the time to come back to it, to come back to that breath, to come back towards that awareness of the body. And in your time from that child's pose, when you're ready, take the inhale. Come back towards a tabletop pose. Just give yourself a couple cat-cows. Again, just kind of moving around in whatever feels good in the body. Give yourself the exhale. Find that nice elongated cat back.
Inhale, coming forward with the crown of the head, and on the exhale, just go ahead and set the bum down, kick the legs out in front of you. All right, so I'd like you to have some blocks. So we're gonna get into our hips here, and we'll do a twist, ooh, into balance. But feel free to stop anywhere you need along the way. We're gonna go from like simple to a little bit more complicated. So listen to yourself, right? So what I'd like to do as far as our hips go today is I'm gonna do double pigeon. So I guess it's not Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, it's just Raja Kapotasana. Fancy. So what we'll do first is we're just gonna set the left leg down on the mat. Now, if this knee doesn't come down all the way, take a block and bring that floor closer to you. Then we're gonna take the right leg and we're gonna put it on top of the left, right? We're gonna take the right ankle or right foot, put it on top of that left knee, and then that left knee is gonna come down towards the arch of that right foot. So we have like, a stack of logs here. Now again, if this isn't your body, which is so totally fine, find those blocks. Find the support that you need. You just won't want to go as far in some of the modifications. And that's totes fine. Did I just say totes? I did say totes. Flex the toes here, right? And what we're really looking for is for these legs to kind of be parallel with the side of the mat, right? Parallel, right? Yeah. Sure. And then we just kind of want to sit up nice and tall here. We can just bring the hands down towards the mat and we can just kind of lift the chest up. Kind of like that Dandasana that we did. Now this could already be a heck of a lot on that right hip, right? And if it is, that's fine. Maybe back off. Maybe just bring some blocks down under the knees to take some of that off. And then maybe we can move them out as we've sat here for a moment. But if this is all right with you, and you'd like to, you can take your inhale and we can reach the arms up overhead. The exhale, we can just let those shoulders drip away from the ears. Take the inhale, reach the fingers up, and on the exhale, maybe the palms just come down towards the mat. Maybe we keep that back kind of straight and we just reach forward with the collarbones, and maybe that's perfect on the hip. Maybe you got more in you. Maybe you want to come down onto the elbows and the forearms, and maybe you just want to let the back round as the forehead starts to come down towards those shins, and the crown of the head comes down towards the mat. And just breathe. Wherever you're at is absolutely perfect. Two more. Nice, balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. Plant those hands on the mat. Inhale, if you folded forward, just start to walk the body back up. Exhale, let the shoulders drip away from the ears. All right, so now we're gonna move towards Ardha Matsyendrasana, okay? So we're gonna take this right foot, bring it on the outside of that left thigh. That left heel comes towards the right hip. And you can always, of course, if that's not legit for you, just straighten that that bottom leg. Just bring the hands under the shins, sit up nice and tall first, wherever you're at. Legs straight, laid flat, doesn't matter. So we'll take an inhale, reach the arms up. The exhale, the right hand comes behind us. And let's just wrap this left arm around the right knee. Bring the wide open palm over to the thigh, lift up on the crown of the head, and maybe on an exhale, we can twist just a little bit towards the right. Listen to the body, listen to the back. If this is not comfortable, back off until it is. Of course, we can always take this left arm, bring it on the outside of the right leg. You also have that option of bringing that left arm down towards the right arch, really taking this twist deep. Figure out where's good for you. If this doesn't work, just find the place that it does. Give yourself an inhale. We'll just take a nice full exhale right here. Then on the inhale, on twist. We're just gonna bring those arms up. Exhale, the shoulders drip away from the ears. Inhale, reach the fingers up. The exhale, bring the hands down towards the left side, and then just fold over towards the left. Just let the elbows bend, just get a little bit of a counter twist there. Then with an inhale, come back up. Still twisted towards the left. The palms of the hands are pushed down into the mat. Push down into the hands, come up onto the feet, and just do a little twisteroo here, and come over to the other side. Yeah, man. Got it. All right, so we're all set up for our Matsyendrasana on this side. Too bad we're doing the hip first. So let's just go ahead and uncross, and this time the right leg is gonna be on the bottom. The left foot is gonna come on towards the top of the right. That's left foot, right knee, yeah. And then left knee, right foot. And take note of the differences between the right and the left side here. They can be totally different, right? This can be a heck of a lot on your hip like this. If it is, get some support under there. Sit up tall. Roll the shoulders up by the ears. Let the shoulders drip down. Bring the hands straight down to the ground. Push down, lift up. Stay there, or if you'd like to, take that inhale, reach the arms up overhead. The exhale, fold forward, bring the hands down. Keep the back as straight, as possible, reaching forward with the collarbones. Bringing the gaze forward as the shoulders drip away from the ears, and then decide on an exhale. Maybe you want to go a little bit further. Maybe the back can round. Maybe the forehead can come all the way down and hit your shins. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. Just find a place where you feel that you're getting a good amount of benefit out of getting into that left hip. And take some breath in and out through the nose. Inhaling, exhaling to the nose. If you're folded forward, you can inhale, come back up onto the palms of the hands, straighten the arms, hold through that exhale as you reach forward with the chest. Inhale, we'll just walk the hands back towards the body. And then let's move towards that twist on this side. So this time we'll take the left foot on the outside of the right thigh and the right heel back towards the left hip. And again, of course, if you want to, straighten that leg out. You could also sit on a block here if you want to bring the floor up a little bit. We'll just start here by bringing that, interlacing the fingers just like we did on the other side, holding onto the shin underneath the knee, lifting the chest, letting the shoulders drip away from the ears, and know that you don't have to go any further than this if you don't want to. Or what we could do is we could take the inhale, lift the arms up, the exhale, start to twist to the left as you bring the left hand behind you, reach the right fingertips up, and then wrap that right arm around the left leg, and bring that open palm onto the thigh, twist towards the left, and no, you don't have to go any further than this. If you wanted to, though, you could always bring that right arm on the outside of the left leg. You can always reach down and find that arch of the foot. Really allowing yourself a moment with those balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. Anytime when you're ready, we can start to untwist. Bring the arms up overhead with an inhale. Exhale, just bring them down onto the right side. Then just fold towards the right. Letting go.
Take an inhale when you're ready to come back up. And then just find your seat, your comfortable seat. And what I'd like you to do is just have your blocks handy. And maybe we can start with these blocks, on the midway setting. So, the skinny elongated side is down on the floor, or medium, if you will. Now just find a seat here that's going to be comfortable for you. And again, you don't have to sit quite as deep as I do. Let's just take a breath or two here, and let's bring the hands onto these blocks, and bring the blocks a couple inches away from the hips and just a little bit behind like the thighs, right? And we're just going to take an inhale, push into the hands, and come up towards the knees. The exhale, you can just lower yourself back down. Inhale, we'll do that again. Just come up a little bit. And the exhale, we can come back down. Okay, I hear you. That might be a little easy. What if we rock that in Padmasana, or lotus pose? So what if we took that bottom foot, wrapped it around the top? You do not have to do this. You could totally just stay in that cross-leg position. With the hands on the blocks. Now, remember, I wanted to say something about Padmasana, or lotus position. If this is not something that you normally regularly practice, don't force yourself into it. If you happen to get into it and you're like, wow, this is weird, just come back out of it, right? This posture is really, really hard. And it takes a long time to really be able to be comfortable in a full lotus pose, which is why I almost never do it in my classes. But this is live stream, and it's just me and you, and we're yoga teachers, so we're expected to do stuff. So what we're gonna do is just that again, bring the hands onto those blocks, take an inhale, come up towards the knees. Exhale, come all the way down. Exhale, we can come up. And the exhale, we can come back down. Now, we can keep doing this, right? Or if you wanted to, maybe we can go a little bit further. We can bring these blocks onto the higher setting, take the inhale, come up onto the knees, move these blocks around so you feel balanced, right? Now I get it, right? What are we doing? Who are we, right? So if you wanted to, and like this isn't you, and you're more crossed like this, just come up like this, and then you have a little bit of a kickstand behind you. Doesn't matter where you're at. Maybe if you're standing up on these knees, though, you want to go a little bit further, and we want to take the inhale and lift the right arm. The exhale, we want to bring that arm back down. Maybe we take the inhale and we lift the left arm. Maybe the exhale, that palm comes back down, finds that block. Maybe we lift the right arm again. Maybe we find the balance and we lift the left. Nope. Inhale. Wherever you're at is totally fine. The exhale, if you're in that Padmasana, just bring the blocks a little bit behind you. Start to bring the bum down towards the mat. Oh, Ben's doing it. Off camera, of course. Guys, he's like floating. You should see this. It's insane. He's breathing fire. All right. Just one more thing here with this. Let's take these blocks back down towards the sides. Right about where they were, maybe a little bit further forward. We can take an inhale, and we can just lift the bum up off the mat. We can hang out there for a few breaths. Or maybe if we want a little bit more, we can find that stability with these blocks, making sure that they're flat on the ground, not straddling the mat. Then we can take your inhale and just lift the whole body up off of the mat. Levitation today. Find that lower belly nice and strong. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Only 15 more minutes. Okay, 3 more. Breaths, not minutes. Inhale. Exhale, lower the body down. Slowly uncross those legs, however they were crossed. Bring the legs right out in front of you. Flex the toes up towards the knees. Maybe reach those heels forward. Just stretch those legs out a little bit. Inhale, let those arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Bringing the hands down to wherever they are comfortable, and then just let the body go. Keep reaching forward with the heels. Flex the toes up towards the knees. What I mean when I say let the body go, just kind of forget about it for a moment and just follow the breath. Balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. Take your inhale. With the exhale, you can just let the hands go. On the inhale, you can start to drag the fingers along the mat, come back up towards seated. Plant the hands just like we did for that staff pose at the beginning. Lift the chest, let the shoulders sink away from the ears. We have that root in the lower belly. We have that engagement in the... Did I just say we had the root in the lower belly? We've got the engagement in the pelvic floor. We've got the engagement in the lower belly. The chin is dropped down towards the chest. The chest is lifted. The toes are flexed. All right, take your inhale. Exhale, relax. Start to bend the knees. Bring the feet back towards the body, and let's work our way down onto our backs. We could do it through bow pose, but I think it's okay. We can skip that one today. So just come to lying on the back here. And then find the back nice and wide. Lift the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Drop them back down. Lift the hips up. Let the spine get nice and long. Set the hips back down. Let the palms reach down. Palms on the mat. Nice long arms. And then just walk the feet back until you can just barely graze the backs of the heels with the tips of the middle fingers. We want to push down through the feet and squeeze the knees in towards each other, but we don't want them to touch. We want the legs to be still hips distance. So if you happen to have a block and you'd like to take that block and stick it in between the legs and squeeze, right there in the knees, that'll help feel that engagement. After an exhale, take an inhale and just like lift the tailbone up off the ground. Feel the lower back push down. Exhale, lower back down. Feel that little arch in the lower back. Inhale as you push down, lift the hips. Exhale, let the hips come down, let the lower back arch. Inhale as you push down, squeeze that block, lift this time, one vertebrae at a time, bringing the chest up towards the chin. Engage that lower belly, and on the exhale, lower back down. Let that back round on the exhale, and then come back up on the inhale. Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up. We'll hold this bridge pose. So maybe we want to interlace the fingers underneath the body, and then maybe we want to roll the shoulders underneath the body as well. Really lifting the chest, really reaching the chest up towards the chin, reaching the pelvis up for the corner of the wall behind you. Bringing the weight onto the shoulders. Breathe. Balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. Take an inhale. You've got the shoulders rolled underneath the body. Let the exhale bring them out. Stay in bridge. Bring an inhale as you wrap the hands around the body. Grab opposite shoulders. Reach up with the elbows, and then on the exhale, start to lower the back. Then the tailbone and the pelvis roll down. Let the shoulders go. If you have a block in between the legs, move it out of the way. Take an inhale, bring your knees up into your chest. Just give yourself a little squeeze here. Just roll a little bit side to side, back and forth. And then back in neutral. Let's take a twist. Bring the arms so they're straight out from the shoulders. Palms up or palms down, your choice. I like palms down because then I kind of feel like I can hold on to the ground. Look over each shoulder. Make sure the arm is straight out from the shoulder and not like up at like 11 o'clock. You want to be at about 9 and 3. Inhale. The exhale, just start to drop the knees over towards the right side. Let the knees come all the way down towards the mat, or of course onto a block or a blanket or a pillow or whatever you got. If the knees don't come all the way down, support them. And we'll take a few breaths here. You've got options, right? If you wanted to, you could stretch that left leg out, reach out with the right arm and find it. Maybe you want to take the left arm, come down and find the right ankle, and really just take a nice deep twist as you pull that right hip in towards the right heel in towards the right hip with the left hand. If you're holding on to anything, take an inhale, let go of the legs, let the knees come back together on that exhale. Bring the arms again so they're straight out from the shoulders. Hold for the exhale. Inhale, bring the knees back up towards the chest, adjusting the body however you need. And then on the exhale, we'll drop the knees over to the left side, stacking the right hip on top of the left. Full exhale, finding any support you need, and arriving there and just allowing yourself a couple breaths, knowing that you do not have to go any further than here. But if you want to, you could straighten out that right leg, reach out with the left hand and find the ball of the foot and just kind of wrap your hand around it. Kick that heel over towards the left wall. Take a couple breaths right here. You also have that option of taking the right hand, reaching down, finding the left ankle or the top of the left foot, and pulling that left heel in towards the left hip. Now, we really do want to make sure that the right shoulder stays connected to the mat. So if you're doing that, but your shoulder's like way up off the ground, do me this favor. Take an inhale. Let go of your foot. Boom. Breathe. If you're holding on, take an inhale, let it go. On the exhale, let the knees come back together. Full exhale right there. Inhale, bring the knees back up towards the chest. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze as you bring the hands onto the shins. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Take a full exhale. Inhale, let's just start to straighten the legs out down towards the mat. Exhale, just let those legs flap open. Bring one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the center of the chest. Close the eyes. Tricky part. Let the control of the breaths begin to go. Just let the body start to breathe for you again. Just letting go of those balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. But although you're letting the control of the breath go, let the awareness of the breath remain. Let the awareness of the sensation in the body from the breath remain, and then allow yourself to begin to realize that you are not doing that. Your body is. Let that part of you witness what the body can do. And realize that you are separate from that. Rest.
remember, you're at home. Probably. You can stay right where you are as long as you want. There is never a rush here. There's certainly never a rush at your house. But when you're ready, maybe just start to get a little bit of movement in the fingers. Just little movements of the fingers and the toes. You can let that movement start to get a little bit more exaggerated as it starts to come up into the wrists and the ankles. The knees and the elbows can start in, and then the hips and the shoulders, just kind of getting into a wiggle party. If it feels good, shake the head a little bit from right to left. And then when you bring the neck back to neutral, take a nice long full body stretch with an inhale, reaching the fingers for the wall behind you, the heels for the wall in front of you. Engaging through an inhale, holding through an exhale. Reaching again on an inhale, then on the exhale, just relaxing. Inhale, bring the knees up towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze before just rolling over towards the right side. And then just hang out for a moment, making a little maybe pillow with your hands or laying on your forearm or whatever's comfortable for you. Just take a couple breaths. And I encourage you to keep the eyes closed. And when you're ready on an inhale, we can just come up and find our seat. You don't need to see to do that. Find that comfortable seated position. Roll the shoulders up by the ears, let them sink down into the back body. Bring the palms together, heart center, Anjali Mudra. We still have that engagement in the root. We still have that engagement in the belly. Take the inhale, reach the crown of the head up, and on the exhale, bring the chin in towards the chest and the forehead towards those hands. And just for this last couple of breaths, just honor yourself. Have gratitude for yourself. With everything that's happening in this world, you took time for nothing but yourself. That's where it all starts. You stepped into this place with your breath, your practice, and your community. As long as we broaden our sense of what here is, we are never alone. It was an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you today. Until next time, Hari Om Tat Sat. All right. Do we have any announcements? Well, thanks so much, you guys, for coming out. I think that's tomorrow morning is canceled, right?
Yeah,
But Alessandra is teaching
4 p.m.
4 p.m. tomorrow.
On
Flow for the
Facebook.
Veterans on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So join it up. Don't forget patreon.com/commonbond. When we get to 100, maybe we can get Ben to do something. When we get to the 150,
ridiculous.
we'll get him to do something stupid.
Real stupid.
Real stupid. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Have a great Saturday. Thanks so much for being here. See you next time.